Thinking about checking out Screamer? Today we're talking about 15 things you need to know before you buy. As a quick overview, it's got surprisingly deep mechanics, an unusual control scheme, and a fully realized narrative, which gives Milestone's upcoming arcade racer a ton of promise. Milestone Studio is best known for their series of motorcycle sim racers, but the Italian team also has an outlandish side. Hot Wheels Unleashed, Monster Jam Showdown, and now Screamer. These racers are more than just fitting grippy tires onto unconventional ideas to see how much traction they got. They're fully realized, and in Screamer's case, complete with a heartfelt narrative, arcade controls, and what is best described as fighting game mechanics. Unconventional might turn out to be an understatement. Before getting behind the wheel, here's 15 things that'll give you a better idea of what this quirky racer brings to the grid. An arcade anime racing fusion. At its core, Screamer is an arcade racing throwback. It's a reboot, after all, but that descriptor barely scratches the surface. Sure, the original Ridge Racer-style drifting is here, but Milestone, as closet anime fans, imbue this modern take with the style and tone of anime's finest, Akira and Ghost in the Shell. But wait, there's more to this fusion. Milestone also harbors a deep love of fighting games. Tekken, King of Fighters, BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, etc. And fighting's influence bleeds through Screamer's narrative setup, character drama, and on-road action. A melting pot of ideas this may be, but rarely does an arcade racer merge spectacle, storytelling, and system-heavy gameplay with this much conviction. Gameplay revolves around the ecosystem. The backbone of Screamer's gameplay is the ecosystem, a futuristic tech installed on every car which fuels both racing and fighting via two intertwined resources, sync and entropy. Rather than simply accelerating and drifting, you'll need to constantly manage the ecosystem's dual gauges through skillful racing and well-timed actions. This system adds a layer of resource management rarely seen in arcade racers, where you'll need to think beyond racing lines to consider timing, pace, and tactical use of abilities throughout each event. Sync and what it enables. Sync is your primary resource for maintaining competitiveness throughout races, with it accumulating independently as you drive. Once you've enough sync, you can spend it on Boost, or Perfect Boost, a more substantial variant, if you time the release of your boost input just right. Also, instead of Boost, you can wrap your car in a momentary shield that'll protect you from your competitor's assaults. Entropy and its combat potential. Now, the other, offensive-minded side of the ecosystem, Entropy. Using sync generates entropy, and this powers two attacks called Strike and Overdrive. Strike is a sharp burst of speed that'll briefly turn your car into a powerful battering ram. Use Strike to rear-end an opponent and you'll blast their chassis into flames Burnout style. Yet, if you retain your entropy, maxing it out instead of striking, then you'll unlock the ultimate driving weapon, Overdrive. When engaged, your car transforms into a comet on wheels, with shields engaged and fire-trailing destruction awaits. However, be careful. Overdrive is high risk, high reward. Your shield will deplete before your firepower subsides, thus any wall tap, and it's you that KOs. Active shift and strategic depth. Your sync meter charges passively throughout races through dexterous driving, but the rate it accumulates can be accelerated by performing active shift, an optional upshift executed at the precise moment your vehicle's RPM passes a certain threshold, giving your engine a little push whilst filling your sync meter. You'll need to keep an eye on the speedometer in the bottom corner, meaning there's an extra skilled layer on top of the drift-heavy driving and ecosystem management. When assessed all together, Screamer provides a range of boosts, attacking and defensive options, meaning races flow more dynamically than simple sprints to the finish line. Twin-stick controls. Perhaps the most unorthodox aspect of Screamer is its twin-stick control scheme. You'll steer with the left stick while drifting is handled on the right, creating a setup which feels closer to a character action game than a racer. Early footage shows an expressive driving style is attainable, although there'll undoubtedly be a learning curve. If it clicks, and for anyone who's dabbled in twin-stick shmups, it likely will, then this control method could prove to be Screamer's standout feature. An atypically narrative-heavy racer. Unlike most racers, Screamer is placing particular emphasis on its narrative arc. The game centers on an underground, high-stakes tournament orchestrated by a mysterious figure. Hello, Tekken influence. Each participating team is compelled to take part, and throughout the game, you'll flick between each entrant to experience their point of view. There's deep, sometimes dark character motivations illustrated in that crisp anime style. Story beats will play out on track too. Perhaps those combat abilities will be put to good use ending someone else's tournament. While other racers have been taking stabs at meaningful stories before, Screamer's narrative looks to be especially resonant, where progression isn't just by winning races. Team-based racing structure. Rather than focus on individual exploits, Screamer brings a team-based structure. Each team consists of a leader and 2 support racers, with distinct roles across the lineup. The leader's car is tuned for speed and precision, making it ideal for more experienced players, while support vehicles lean into combat and survivability. 5 teams compete. 5 teams are set to compete in Screamer's tournament, each bringing their own personality, motivations, and racing approach. There are the Banshees, who have entered the tournament for payback. Strike Force Ramonda are an idol band, recently reunited after a mysterious separation. Their tournament participation supposedly a guerrilla marketing tactic. Visionary Scientists, Jupiter Stormers, bringing corpo energy, with one member in particular seemingly bent on answering a personal vendetta. Anaconda Corp are a powerful band, invested heavily in above-board and seedy ventures alike, from politics to arms dealing. Criminal Syndicate Kagawa Kai are the most revered racers in the tournament, decorated, unstoppable, and ruthless. Characters bring unique abilities. Each of Screamer's 15 characters, split in 3 across 5 teams, brings their own unique passive ability. One racer banks extra sync if they KO an opponent using Strike, another can chain strikes together with a lower entropy cost, while a third can extend their boost duration as long as you drive cleanly. With drivers focused on maximizing resources, speeding to the finish line, or enacting all-out on-track warfare, the lines between racing and character action are blurred. You'll be choosing racers which fit your goals and playstyle. A dystopian overworld awaits. Befitting of its Akira inspiration, Screamer's Overworld is bleak and dystopian. Announced so far are 3 distinct biomes. Neo Ray is a streaming non-metropolis, a city of contrast not unlike Cyberpunk 2077's Night City, utopian and nightmarish alike, with winding streets promising plenty of tight, high-octane racing. Sky Road Desert is a scorching wasteland, again reminiscent of Cyberpunk's Badlands that surround its central city. The rather prescriptive-sounding Forest No. 13 is 1 part nature reserve, 1 part geothermal power plant, and an indication that even the countryside can't escape the churning wheels of capitalism in dystopian fiction. A breadth of customizable game modes and multiplayer. Screamer ships with various game modes. Tournament is its de facto story mode, while the arcade menu brings a slate of customizable racing, a free-for-all with all 15 characters, plus leaders only or members only. Each features numerous augmentations, race duration, power-ups, sync generation rates, participant numbers, and more. Team Race pits each team of 3 against each other, with final scores determined by placement and KOs. Score challenges, overdrive-only races, time attacks, checkpoint races, there's plenty here that's tweakable. Multiplayer comes in online modes, an up to 4-player split screen. Release date, platforms, and price. Screamer will release to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam and the Epic Game Store on March 26th. The base version is retailing at €49.99, $59.99 USD, while the digital deluxe version will set you back at $69.99 USD. Digital deluxe inclusions and pre-order bonuses. Pre-ordering Screamer Standard Edition nets you the Chrome Style Pack, which decks your cars out in a tasteful metallic finish. Pre-ordering the Deluxe Edition gives you the Iridescent Style Pack too, like Chrome, only shinier and more colorful. Speaking of the Digital Deluxe Edition, if you opt for this version, you'll gain customization packs for each of the game's 5 teams, plus 3 days early access. PC requirements. Minimum PC requirements as per the game's Steam listing include an Intel Core i5-9600K or AMD Ryzen 5 2600 CPU and GeForce GTX 1060 or Radeon RX 5500 XT GPU. Recommended specs detail an Intel Core i5-14600K or AMD Ryzen 7 7700X processor and GeForce RTX 4070 or Radeon RX 9070 XT GPU. No matter your setup, you'll need 16GB of RAM and 35GB of storage. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.